Beloved within the Seventh-day Adventist Church, beloved in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, this is a very urgent message called Remove Not the Ancient Landmarks. Remove not the ancient landmarks. Now, beloved in the Adventist Church, here recently, we have been ordaining women as pastors in North American Division against the General Conference mandate. And the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 28, something very startling. It says, remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set. So, what are the ancient landmarks? The ancient landmark are the 2300-day prophecy, victory over sin, the sanctuary message, the Sabbath, the state of the dead, the spirit of prophecy, the health message, righteous by faith. These are the pillars of our position, beloved. These are the landmarks of our faith. Women's ordination was not ever practiced in the Seventh-day Adventist Church until recently. The General Conference still commissions women as pastors in the working policy. The North American Division is trying to ordain them. The General Conference allows for certain local conferences to ordain them as elders and commission them as pastors, but not be ordained as pastors, beloved in the Adventist Church. So women's ordination is practiced on a General Conference level and on a North American Division level. So it's all hypocritical, beloved. Remove not the ancient landmarks which thy fathers have set up. The Bible says, plead with thy mother, Loramai and Loharamah, for she is not my wife. Why is she not his wife? The heavenly Christ's wife? Because she's in apostasy. She's whoring after other gods. She's practicing the practices of other fallen church denominations, like the Baptist Church, that are all on the Sunday, the Pentecostal Church, the Lutheran Church, the Methodist Church, the Episcopalian Church, and the Catholic Church. She's involved in Sunday sacredness. She's involved in Sunday sacredness through Sunday Surge. She's involved in women's ordination, which is postmodernism, higher criticism. She's reinterpreting the prophecies. All types of things this new Seventh-day Adventist movement is doing. Sister White warns us against this new movement in Selected Message Book 1, a chapter called The Foundation of Our Faith. That chapter states, books of a new order will be published. A system of intellectual philosophy will be introduced. They will go into the cities and do a wonderful work, but God being removed from them, storm and tempest shall do away with the structure, beloved in the Adventist Church. And that's what's so sad. Storm and tempest shall do away with the structure, beloved in the Adventist Church. So we need to pray in these last days. We're ready for Christ's soon coming. Because the church is in deep apostasy. And when the liberals take over the church at the General Conference level, they will start to disfellowship all the present truth Seventh-day Adventist Christians in these last days. They will disfellowship people like David Gates, people like Dr. Isaac Olatunji, people like all these great present truth men that are preaching the straight testimony of these last days are going to disfellowship them because they teach against the established quota when the liberals take over the church. They're going to use the working policy that Ted Wilson has brought in recently when he was elected president and try to persecute and disfellowship God's people in his last days. They're going to say, obey me. And if you don't obey me, you're disfellowship. You are disciplined. You are censored. Like I was censored at First Church. I was censored because I spoke out against Sunday Surge, which is Sunday sacredness, with the men turning their backs toward the east. The men turned their backs toward the east. Why did the men turn their backs toward the east? They turned their backs toward the east because they wanted to weep for Tammuz and Christmas celebrations. They turned their back to the east because they wanted to worship the sun in Sunday Surge and Sunday sacredness. That's why they turned their back toward the east. And because I preached against that, beloved, I was censored at First Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Huntsville. Now, beloved, in the Adventist church, it's going to be worse than that to us in these last days. They're going to forbid us to buy and sell. They're going to put us to death. They're going to persecute us because we decide to stand up for a thus saith the Lord, beloved, in the Adventist church. So remove not the ancient landmarks which your fathers have set up. Beloved, in the Adventist church, these Seventh-day Adventist ministers like Dan Jackson and Ricardo Graham and Dave Weigley of the Columbia Union Conference, and Ricardo Graham of the Pacific Union Conference, and Dan Jackson of the North American Division. These pastors, beloved, in the Adventist church, and Benjamin Jones of South Central in regional work, these pastors are going to drop dead or be fired from their position in these last days by Ted Wilson. 2019 is a great test in these last days for these ministers, because that decides whether they're going to comply with the General Conference mandate to not ordain women as pastors. The test is going to come whether they're going to comply with the world body. When the world church votes in world session, it's God's voice. That we're going to see whether these churches in North America, these conferences in North American Division, are going to be in unity or in defiance with the world body, beloved. And they're going to be cut off from the sisterhood of churches, and they're going to be disfellowship, and they're going to drop dead under the slaughter of Ezekiel chapter 8 and 9. When they fall under that slaughter, it's going to be too late for them, beloved. Too late for them. Pray for them that they will comply with the mandate of the General Conference. Pray for them that they will not remove the ancient landmarks. Pray for them that they will get back to a viable Reformation, like Ted Wilson is saying. Pray for them that they will read the Bible and this prophecy and not be so worldly, not accept homosexuality in the church, and accepting homosexuals wanting to marry, and homosexuals wanting to hold church office, and homosexuals wanting to be members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and transgender elders. All this is happening in California. Evolution is being taught at La Sierra. Remove not the ancient landmarks, beloved, which your fathers have set up. God bless you. Maranatha.